I first have to also say, shout out to all the people out there who in 2020 thought the Warriors should trade the number 2 pick that became James Wiseman for some random vet that they thought could be like a Band-Aid to help that team after Clay tore his Achilles, help that team, just make the playoffs. And then shout out to all the people who in the summer of 2021 wanted to trade Wiggins and his contract, Poole, Wiseman, and the 2 picks that became Moody and Kuminga, the number 7 and number 14 picks, for Ben Simmons, for Bradley Beal, for Damian Lillard. Like those 3 guys, they are who they are, but that's just ridiculous, right? I was like adamant about not doing that. And I know a lot of you out there agreed with me, but there were folks who were just like, kind of in weird panic mode. Like, we got to take care of Steph's prime. We got to win now. These guys aren't proven, but like not knowing that this is how dynasties die, which is basically they get really top heavy in terms of salary. They get old, and then they don't have anybody younger who's actually promising, and then they just peter out. Sure, teams, they tend to draft late when they're that good, when they're winning titles. And sometimes they'll find somebody, but not anybody who's going to be a cornerstone, let alone guys like Poole, Moody, Kuminga, Wiseman, who potentially are 4 cornerstones already. So I'm not here so much to say I told you so, but it's like, hopefully there's perspective with this whole thing that you got to take the long view with this team sometimes, right? Because game to game, there is a bigger picture. I think it's clearer now, especially after winning a title with this grouping, that there shouldn't be like these crazy knee-jerk reactions to things like Kerr saying 2 years ago, we're not chasing wins, or Kerr not doing enough like pick and roll and stuff like that. There is a method to the madness. You know what I mean? And of course, it's not just like fans out there. It's also national media who's just calling stuff out, looking for stuff to talk about. Again, it's funny to me to hear Charles Barkley declare in the pregame show that maybe the Warriors could win the next 3 or 4 titles, which, we've been saying for a while, right? And then right before the game started, Reggie Miller talking about the Warriors youth and saying that it's such a good thing. I'm not saying Reggie was against it before, but, just this general narrative that like, wow, like they are really, really talented. And when so many people were naysayers about this whole plan. So it's wild, right? Especially like the idea that, trading like the 2 picks from 2021 and then Wiseman, who was injured, Poole, who had just shown some flashes in the play-in games against Memphis and the Lakers, and then Wiggins, who people thought was still just going to flame out. And he was the contract that you had to attach, right? I think there was even chatter of a lesser package with some of those pieces for Pascal Siakam, which I was adamantly against,